Greetings, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another awareness session of Reconstructing Minds Incorporated in partnership with Positive Lifestyle Management and Ghetto Gospel Awakening the Sleeping Giant. My name is Shantario, aka Brother Midnight. Uh, Today will be part one of learning about voters registration and how it plays a role in our local, state, and federal government. Today I'm going to begin reading a from the September 4th, 1982 letter concerning what's happening inside out and apply it today to where we're at today in 2022. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. September 4th, 1982, what's happening inside out? Fellow brothers of the struggle. I don't know if you've recently heard the latest, but our organization stacked a full house at the Voters Registration Board, as the Chicago Sun-Times described. Yes, our fellow brothers on the street are moving out on a new concept, which is organization, that we have adapted. The preface of organization is not only being enforced here, but outside of the walls also. Our brothers have been involved in the cleaning of the 16th and 17th Ward, and now they are involving themselves in voters registration drive. We also just recently informed our brothers that there will not be any drafting or raping out of our membership. We have many goals and objectives towards our organizational growth. We shall be keeping you in touch in the future about our goals and objectives through the bi-weekly information sheet, what's happening inside out. So we see here in September 4th, 1982, that voters registration was kicked off, and the brothers and sisters of that time were involved in the cleanup of the 16th and 17th Ward. So now the new concept is going. It's almost a year old, within about 17 days. So September 21st, 1982 would actually been the first year of the new concept of organization. For those who don't know what the concept of organization is a unified and consolidated group of people with an executive structure that deals with the well-being of all its people. It's an executive structure of business and enterprise for individual growth and collective acceleration of the body as a whole. And for those who need references to the definition of organization, you can look at the September 21st, 1982 letter and the common sense approach. Now, it says, we also encourage all of our brothers to step forward with your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of our organization in this direction. Get in touch with what's happening and forward your proposals, ideas, and mind to us. Study and read your literature. Check out the latest few pages that you just recently received, proclamation letter presentation, and watch for the awareness sessions, which will soon come soon. A lot of beneficial knowledge will be coercing from those sessions to you to benefit you as an individual and as a member of the organization. We want to give us your eyes and ears so that you can begin to plug in, because we are for real about what we propagate. Our organization, our concept is to prepare us for the political and education and economical realities of Black America, and we are going to live and flourish into something great. So now we understand the dynamic of the September 4th, 1982 letter was built on voters registration. Also, I'm going to read something from page 103 in reference to voters and voting in the legislation during that time. It says, one of the main reasons why we have been victimized by the system is because we have no voice within the system. As outlined in our literature, this legislature is in control of the law-making policies that we must live under. However, the legislators are voted into office by the many communities in which we live. We must begin to understand that as long as we project a negative image to the community will in return continue to support negative legislation, such as the Class X laws. Thus, our new concept is saying, if you want to change the laws and have a voice in your destiny, first you must change your lifestyle. Because for those who don't know, growth and development is based on lifestyle management. And that, in essence, is a philosophy of lifestyle management based on the new concept of organization. So it says for us, the first political struggle meaning movement, is that we have to deal with this without becoming an asset to our communities, especially our youth. Then we can effectively talk about who to send to Washington to voice our concerns. So basically, what this was saying is basically once we understand the dynamics of how to vote and what legislation to vote into office, we can do something in reference to helping the poor and disenfranchised in our communities, especially dealing with the Black and brown people. Voters registration was something that was key in initializing the 21st century vote, which was founded by Mr. Larry Hoover and others during that time in the 1990s. So I'm going to be reading from Article 7A, which is registration of voters. And I'm going to begin from 163-82.1, general principles of voters registration. It says prerequisite to voting. No person shall be permitted to vote who has not been registered under the provisions of this article or registered as previously provided by law. We all know that the law governs all events. B, county board's duty to register. A county board of elections shall register in accordance with this article every person qualified to vote in that county who makes an application in accordance with this article. So this article alone deals with the registration of voters. C says permanent registration. Every person registered to vote by a county board of elections in accordance with this article shall remain registered until the registrant requests in writing to the county board of elections to be removed from the list of registered voters. So that's one way. And then the registrant becomes disqualified through death, conviction of a felony, or removal out of the county. And that conviction of a felony is not necessarily a stumbling block for those who want to vote. I have felonies myself, not putting my business out there, but to let you know, I have been able to vote for a while now. I was worried when I got out of prison in 2019 if I was going to be able to vote, and come to find out I could vote. So a felony does not automatically bar you from voting. Or removal out of the county. Number 3, the Board of Elections determines through the procedure outlined in General Statute 163-8214 that it can no longer confirm where the voter resides. So you wherever you stay at, that's where you need to vote at. No matter what county it is, what state you're at, that's if that's where you reside, that's where you need to vote at. And normally when it's time to vote, you will get a voter's registration card, and it will tell you exactly where you need to go to vote. All right, 163-82.2, Chief State Election Official. Says the executive director of the State Board of Elections is the Chief State Elections Official of North Carolina for purposes of PL 103-31. The National Registration Act of 1993 subsequently referred to in this article as the National Voters Registration Act. As such, the executive director is responsible for coordination of the state responsibilities under the National Voter Registration Act, which came out in 1993, which is the regulatory sessions in 1994 as well. So we see that it is vitally important for us to understand voters registration and how it plays a pivotal role in who is put into place. Going back to the blueprint on page 103, I'm going to read this again. The legislature is in control of the lawmaking policies that we must live under. It says, however, the legislators are voted into the office by the many communities in which we live. So we have to understand the dynamic of being able to vote. And once we understand the dynamic, we put people into place that understand the realm of politics and how they work through the many methods of political science, which in reference gives us an overall aspect of how our different branches of government work, especially the legislative branch, which deals with making laws and policies. Just as well as within the organization, you have legislators, better known to you have the governing body or the executive staffs. It says that on the preface, it says the governing body will be invested with the power to make policies and laws. Okay. 163-83-3 says voter registration application form developed by the State Board of Elections. The State Board of Elections shall develop an application form for registration. Any person may use the form to apply to do any of the following: register to vote, change party affiliation or unaffiliation status. So if you're not Democrat or Republican, you could be a liberal, whatever the situation may be, is whether it's affiliated or unaffiliated. Report change of address within the county. That is very important because wherever you live at, like I said earlier, once you get that voter's registration card, you have to vote within the realms of that county, and it will give you a directive on where you need to vote. Reported change, a name change, that is very important as well. It says the County Board of Elections for the county where the applicant resides shall accept the form as application for many of those purposes if the form is submitted as a set of general statutes 163-82-3. Interstate form. The County Board of Elections where the applicant resides shall accept as an application for any of the purposes set out in the subsection. Subsection A says, of this section, the interstate registration form designed by the Federal Elections Commissions pursuant to Section 9 of the National Voters Registration Act, if the interstate form is submitted in accordance with the General Statute 163-82-6. And another form is the agency application form, where this particular form within itself says the County Board of Elections where an application resides shall accept as an application for many of the purposes set out in the subsection A of this section, a form developed pursuant to General Statute 163-82-19 or General Statute 163-82-20. So, this is very important because I'm going to be dealing with this voters registration for a while, probably for the next couple of months. So I'm going to be giving you vital information for you to better understand the registration of voters and how it works according to Article 7A. I hope we have learned something together. and that we can continue to grow and develop with one another. I want to read you something in reference to how we should look to benefit from having a mindset of understanding voters registration and how it works. Now, this is from the September 21st, 1982 letter, which is a year recognition of the new concept of organization. It says, on the streets, our brothers have been diligent involving themselves in voter registration drives. So this is what this is geared toward. This is what these particular awareness sessions will be geared toward, is developing voters registration drives, not only here within the state of North Carolina, but all over the United States. We'll be looking forward to mobilizing and developing voters registration drives. It says, they realize that politics is the signs of who gets what, where, when, and most importantly, how. As previously manifested to you, through business and politics, we can build an economical base that will ensure us boundless power and wealth. This is what direction we are moving in. So it is very important. This is very important to how key knowing about registration of voters and ultimately voters registration within itself. My name is Shantario, aka Brother Midnight. Peace and blessings to you all. Have a good night. Plenty much love.